fabric Sew Like a Pro, the Audrey from the Jersey collection. The Audrey is another one of the staple items that most people have in their wardrobe and they pay a lot of money for. But actually you can make it yourself in an afternoon, you can make it in numerous colours and it just looks brilliant. The first thing you need to do is to sew together the sleeves. You make sure you've got the right sides facing inside, and then you start sewing from the top. Just make sure that the sides are actually on top of each other, and while you're sewing you're stretching the fabric slightly. Remember, it is jersey. Make sure that you lock in your stitches at the beginning and the end of the fabric so that it doesn't come apart. Can you see that? There's quite a lot of stretch in here, it's really good. Next we need to do the side seam. And the same applies again. You have the right sides facing inside each other. You move the edges of the fabric on top of each other and you just go. Lock your stitches in at the end. Repeat on the other side. Now you need to overlock. You need to overlock the hem of the sleeves. Overlocking is not necessary with jersey, it just makes it look much nicer. So if you've got an overlocker, do it. If you don't, it doesn't really matter. Your side seams. And you need to overlock all the way around the hem. You need to overlock across the top of your top, which is actually your shoulder seam. Next you're going to close the shoulder seam. Now what you see me doing here is the shoulder seam is on top of each other. I've taken 4 centimeters down from the top edge and I'm just sewing into the shoulder about 3 to 4 centimeters depending on how tight you want it to be across your neck. Next we want to put in the sleeves. Now they have got a little snip in the front to identify the front, so I tend to put it on the, in this case on the left hand arm, so I know which one that is. Put it through the left hand side of the top and I have got the sleeve in the right way. You might think that's a bit silly, but actually it's really easy to put the wrong sleeve in and it's fairly annoying. Then I mark the top and I put a pin in there. I equally mark the bottom, which means the side seams of both the top and the sleeve, and then I literally roll the fabric over my hands as I pin it in. Now what you want to make sure is that you have some ease at the top there. That's important because your shoulders are round, and if you don't ease it in, it'll be tight in that area and it won't look very good. Where you don't ease in is at the bottom. You just roll it and put it together flat, so that there's absolutely no ease, and then as you come around the curve you start easing in. And there you can see the sleeve. I've checked it. Always check your sleeve, make sure that's all right. Now I'm sewing my sleeve in. I'm stretching the fabric as I go along. I'm taking the pins out just as I reach them. And I am done. Now all I need to do there is to overlock that armhole. One thing that I can do now is I can finish off the hem of the sleeve. I've just turned it up about 3 centimeters and I'm going to sew into the seam vertically so that it holds it in place. It's so much nicer than machine stitching. On jersey, on a household machine, it'll never look that professional. So if you can get away with using techniques where your stitching can't be seen, then that's what you want to do, and this is how it looks. It looks really professional and very high quality. Now we just have to finish the hem. What I have done is I've turned it up about 2.5 centimeters. I don't actually measure or pin, and I'm sure you're with me here. If you've got a feeling for it and you've also got markings on your sewing machine, that's absolutely fine. Don't bother pinning all of this, just get practicing and then you'll be fine. And now I'm overlocking around the armhole. It's literally the last thing I have to do before I can take my top, and I have to iron it, and then I get to see what it looks like.